Welcome back to the Double S NFL podcast. We apologize for not being active. Welcome back to our semi-active podcast.
We're gonna try to get more into the swing of things soon as the season's like not concluding, but as the season's progressing rapidly. And without further ado, here are our Week 10 game picks. Why don't we start off with where Sam, why don't you go first? Who do you have tonight?
I have Atlanta winning in a very similar score. I have Atlanta 20-13.
Yeah, I think it'll be a game where the Falcons defense pretty much dominates the whole night. That'll be the pretty much the story of this game. Like I do think Kyle Pitts has a touchdown, but I don't think the Falcons passing offense is going to do much against a solid Panthers defense. But same thing goes for Carolina. I don't think PJ Walker's a good quarterback. I hate to break it to you, but
Oh,
I
we
think
know
the
he's not, but he's played better than Baker and
Oh,
he's
he's the
better
best
than
QB
Sam
on the team.
Darnold.
He's the best QB on the team, but that's not saying much. So I think the Falcons win one score game,
I
21.
think Panthers fans know where this is headed.
Yeah.
We're gonna tank and try to get someone.
All right, we're gonna do AFC versus AFC games first, and we're gonna start off with the Chiefs and Jags. Who do you have?
I have Kansas City winning this game 31-14.
So so I think it'll be a very, very close game and come down to a game-winning field goal by Harrison Butker. And here's why. We've seen this year that the NFL is far from predictable. The matter is very unpredictable. And I think this game is going to be led by Jacksonville most of the time, but then Mahomes is going to strike once again, and the Chiefs are going to win.
Dolphins Browns, what we got?
I'm going to go. I think the Dolphins win this one pretty handily. I think they win 28-14. I don't think I like the Browns corners, but I don't think they're good enough to keep up with that speedy wide receiver duo of Hill and Waddle. And I think the Dolphins defense is going to be all over Brissett. They're angry. They're ready to make a statement to show why they were not a fluke last year. I think the Dolphins win 2018. What about you?
I have the Dolphins winning 33-28
Oh, why do you think it'll be so high scoring?
because the Dolphins defense has let teams in games, and I think as we saw with Detroit and Chicago, and I think that continues this week against the Browns. And the Browns have been in a couple of shootouts.
Yeah, they were in
Baltimore,
a shootout against who
Chargers.
sure they weren't in a shootout against them, but their game against the Ravens was like down to the wire. So all right, moving on. Who do you have? Colts and Raiders, a battle of what I think are the two worst coach teams in the NFL. I'll say that.
I'm taking the Raiders in this one 23-13.
What do you think of the Jeff Saturday hire?
I don't know. He hasn't coached in the college or the NFL level, and they had multiple former head coaches on their staff.
What I was thinking is like he sounded a lot like Dan Campbell in his press conference. He sounded very passionate, but do I think that's going to translate to wins? I don't.
No.
But this week I think McDaniels is that bad. So I think the Colts do sneak one out this week, 26-20.
Do you think that if they lose, McDaniels will get fired?
I think so. What about you?
No. I think
Even
he
if they go
lasts through
like
the year.
the year, yeah, he's got an. If it was his first year coaching, I would say keep him through the year, but it's a second chance, and like as a head coach, and
Granted, he coached over 10 years ago. He got
but like
fired in the middle of 2010.
2010, yeah, it was before a couple of years before Peyton came. Titans Broncos, who do you have?
Well, you and I have the same score. I have the Titans 24-16.
Oh wow, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think this game's gonna show that the Broncos are officially done, and Sam was actually right about them. I was wrong about them, and the Broncos are just not a very good team. They're not well coached. Russell Wilson is below average, and that defense is good, but it's not like elite in my opinion. What's okay?
Yeah, the
Moving on.
Broncos have been a mess the whole year, and I don't know how you fix it.
Do you think Hackett will get fired at year's end?
Yes,
Yeah. All
he
right.
brought over his play calling from Jacksonville, not from Green Bay.
Yeah, like Rodgers kind of carried him to be honest, like in a way.
In a way, they kind of needed each other.
All right, Texans and New York Football Giants. Who do you have?
I have the Giants winning this one 26-14.
Do you think it'll be like close at all? Because I feel like the Texans have been a pretty scrappy team. They've been in a lot of these close games.
I feel like it will be close for a half, and then the Giants will pull away.
I'm taking Houston on the road to come into the Meadowlands and shock the Giants 19-17. And the reason for this being, I Daniel Jones has been solid this year, but that receiving core is depleted. I don't trust Kenny Golladay to make a big impact. And I
Is he
think
coming
that
back this week?
yeah, I think this is the week we see one of the best games so far out of the young corner, Derek Stingley Jr. Houston 19, New York 17 in my upset of the week.
Saints and the Steelers. I have the Steelers winning this one. I have them winning 19-13.
No, yeah, that's a pretty reasonable take, but I think the Saints win. I think they're just a little more talented and a little bit more well coached. This isn't a Tomlin thing. It's more how bad Matt Cannon has been. He's been a disgrace to society. I do think Kenny Pickett will play well, but I just think the Saints will outlast him. And
My head coach takes have been pretty good. I was not a big fan of that of the Dennis Allen hire.
I thought
Because of
like I thought he'd do well because of like the continuity within the offensive coordinator, but no, it doesn't seem like that's been the case whatsoever.
Vikings and Bills. For now, I'm taking the Bills, but if Josh Allen doesn't play, I'm switching it the other way.
I'm assuming from what I've been hearing, Allen hasn't practiced the past 2 days. Tomorrow is Friday. Recording this on a Thursday night. I think the Vikings sneak one out. I think Justin Jefferson has a big game. Buffalo's secondary is pretty depleted right now, but this game doesn't really define who Buffalo is. They're still a really good team. And I think this game will show how the Vikings are legit and are not frauds.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills 27-23, but that can change depending on how the week goes. Josh Allen did look like complete shit against the Jets.
He looked like rookie Josh Allen all over again.
I'd argue 2019. He didn't look that bad, but not the Josh Allen from 2020 and 2021.
And my game of the week, personally, Niners and Chargers. Who do you have?
I have the I have the Niners winning 29-17.
Why do you think they win by 2 scores? I think these teams are pretty evenly matched.
Brandon Staley and Joe Lombardi.
It's more so Lombardi than Staley, in my opinion, but yeah, I get the point.
Well, too many times Staley will do these retarded fourth downs when they make
Yeah,
no
that
sense to do
he's
so.
he's over aggressive way too much, and I think like is it just me or Justin Herbert hasn't been himself this year?
He has not been himself. He's like a check down magnet.
But I feel like a lot of that's on Lombardi. Like, yeah, he looks pretty. I don't want to go as far as to say average, but he looks like himself, his 2020 self, rather than his last year self.
That doesn't mean he's bad.
Yeah,
He's been
not
fine.
at all. I still think he's a top 5 quarterback when it's all said and done. But so far this year, he hasn't been like elite.
And to think we have to watch this Chargers team next week on Sunday Night Football.
Yep. I wish they could have just
Yeah.
flexed the Jets and the Pats. Like,
And they aren't
all
even
right,
getting the Jets and Pats aren't even getting one of the top two announcing teams for CBS, which is even more annoying for me.
so and the game's
They
on my
chose to
birthday too.
do Eagle and Davis to Philly and Indianapolis instead, which bothers me.
Yeah, and the game's on my birthday too. So I wish there was like a primetime night game I could just relax and chill. But no, it's a 1 o'clock game. Last year the Jets got smoked in Foxborough. All right. Bucks and Seahawks, what do you have?
I have the Bucks 23-20.
Do you think this is the week we see Gino come back to reality?
No, I think he'll be fine. That's all he's been is fine. I don't. I don't see what makes him an MVP.
You don't?
No.
I kind of can see where you're coming from, but like given like his story and like that he's
Oh, he's
elevated,
obviously going to win like comeback player of the year, but I don't see him as an MVP. As an MVP,
do you think he's been a top 10 QB this year?
yes.
I think he's a franchise quarterback. I don't think he's an MVP candidate. Because like he's like even last year when he started for Seattle, he wasn't too bad, and I feel like I like defended like I was against the decision. I thought they should have started Lock, but clearly that's wrong. I still think the
If they
Bucks
win this, they'll be
outlast them.
7-3. That's ridiculous,
The
especially
Lions
when
and the
some of
Bears.
us
Who do
had
you
them
have?
at the number 1 pick.
Lions and Bears. Who do you have?
I have the Bears winning 30-27.
30-27. Do you think Fields has another really good game?
Yes.
I have Fields in fantasy, so I'm hoping he does well. I think he does, but I think the
I
Lions
am in a
offense.
position in fantasy where I have to start Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, Lamar's normally my starter, but he's on bye, so I luckily got Fields. I think the Lions win, though. I think that defense has a couple big plays late, big stops, and I think that offense does just enough, even with the bad QB.
Rams and Cardinals. Oh God.
This is gonna be a shit show. Oh
I
my.
don't think I think I have to take the Rams 24-17.
Like my score prediction is indicative of how I think the game's gonna go. It's gonna be a snooze fest. Both offenses are pretty bad. The Rams defense is solid, I guess. Like the teams have both been massively disappointing
If
this
you would
year.
have told me in week 1 that the Cardinals defense would be better than the Cardinals offense, I would have laughed in your face.
I think it'll be a pretty defensive, sluggish game. I think the Rams win 16-10.
Cowboys Packers. I think we both have the Cowboys winning
What's your score prediction?
27-19. I think Rodgers does enough to make it to keep it a 1 possession game.
Do you think the Packers season is over, or do you think he can pull another run the table?
Oh, they're fucked. They're
Yeah.
fucked.
I don't
Their
think this
schedule
is.
is not kind.
What do you think they finish at?
I think they finished 6-11.
I think like yeah,
Name me
five.
three. Name me more than 3 wins on that schedule.
Yeah. I don't see any other than Detroit, um, Chicago. That's it, honestly. I don't see really like where the ones are gonna come from.
Eagles, Commanders.
Carson Wentz, he's not playing, but it will still be cool to see how the Philly fans greet him. How do you think that's gonna go?
It's Philly. I don't think I need to explain it any other way.
I agree. Yeah, they're gonna. I think they should applaud him honestly, because like as bad as he was in 2020, like he like they
He
weren't
carried the Eagles to the playoffs in 2019.
carry them in 2019. His 2018 was pretty solid too. 2017, we all know how good he was.
And it's just tough to see how his career has gone since.
Who do you have in this one though?
I have the Eagles winning 35-17.
35-17. Yeah.
The Eagles, excuse me, the Commanders defense is garbage. So
It's more, yeah, their secondary is absolutely atrocious. And
I
like,
think AJ Brown lights them up.
yeah, I think so too. Um, that will conclude our episode for this week. We'll be back next week with picks and some power rankings too. I hope you all have a good weekend.